Right, it's the 17th of July and it's time for another plot tour. I'm going to start with the onions. We've harvested all the shallots from this bed. Unfortunately, due to all the bad weather, we've got a lot of, I think it's called Downy Mildew. So I'm thinking of going to have to harvest these early. I was going to do them in sort of early August, I think, but I might have to do a weigh-in because they don't look healthy at all. Interestingly, the ones in the buckets seem to be a lot better. They've still got that problem a little bit, but it's not as bad. So what I might do is leave these for a bit longer, but they're looking good. I can't believe the size of them, really. So at the moment we've got like 3 or 4 days of decent weather, so what I think I'll do is just give these another 3 days and then I'll pick them on Friday or the weekend. All the shallots have taken out, are drying at home. Okay, over at the carrot box, all the lettuces have been removed from here now, and I've sowed several different varieties of carrots. I've got purple dragon, I've got some Eskimo and sweet candle. These are carrots that are going to be for over winter, so main crop carrots. We've had a big problem with the mole basically across the whole plot, and it's been really frustrating because it just digs up everything. I didn't really understand. I thought maybe a mole would, dig a few areas, but it's been digging every single bed. It's been really annoying. But especially so in this place, because I don't think a mole digging up soil is going to be good for growing carrots. So I've had to keep patting down the soil, but I suspect a lot of them won't grow very well in here. This side will hopefully be better. It looks like the mole might have moved on because it's not dug up anything in here for a couple of weeks. Hopefully that's the case. But they were growing all right. I thinned them about a week ago, so they've got space to grow now, and hopefully the netting keeps the carrot root fly off. Okay, the bean frame. I'm really gutted so far with how these beans are growing. The weather's been so bad. I think it's mostly just the weather, but they don't. This is actually the second sowing, so I pulled all the first lot out because they were just dying and looked diseased, and re-sowed. But they seem to be taking so long to start climbing, and they also look a bit. Well, they don't understand why they're so yellow. I was thinking maybe it's a nitrogen issue, but I suspect it might just be the poor weather. Hopefully now we've got a bit of better weather, they'll start climbing and get to the top. I'd expect them to be, near the top by now, really, mid-July. Got a few more extra lettuce. There's this lettuce here growing to seed. I'm just going to leave that, I think, and try and collect the seeds. A few more lettuce in there. But yeah, so far a bit disappointed and worried about the beans. I've got extras in this bucket container here, and I'm actually starting to produce a few beans there, so maybe in a few days I can pick a few. But even this one started off looking nice, and it was doing much better than the others and looked nice and green, but it's just it's gone all yellow like the rest. A bit disappointing. Okay, over on the sweet corn bed, things looking much better. We're about waist height now, nice and green, and starting to produce tassel, so really excited for that. I've never grown sweet corn, so looking forward to tasting homegrown sweet corn soon. I don't know when they'll be ready to harvest. I guess another 6 weeks maybe. Just at the back there, got sunflowers growing. These are meant to be dwarf sunflowers, so I don't know what's happened there. I'm going to have to put some more canes in to give them some support, I think. But they should look nice when they flower. Just in front of that there's some potatoes growing. No sign of blight yet, hopefully, even though we've had really bad weather. And just in front of the sweetcorn bed, got loads of cosmos, which isn't flowering yet, but it's going to look great when it does. And then just in front of that, down here, there's a couple of squash. I think this is Uchiki Curry squash, but I'm slightly worried because everyone's moaning about lack of pollinators, no bees around. So a bit worried about that also. Don't know what's going on here with this stem. Looks very yellow, so I might not be getting enough nutrients for some reason. The one on the other side, there's two plants here. Seems to look a bit better. I'm a bit worried about all the squash and courgettes not getting pollinated. I know you can hand pollinate them, but because it's at the plot, it's a bit difficult to do that. Yeah. Quick look at fruit corner. Blackcurrants there, doing okay. I would have thought maybe they'd be a bit taller, these branches, because they'll be the ones that fruit next year. And I always thought maybe they'd be a good metre and a half or something. But it is their first year, so got to give them time to build up their roots. This was a bare-rooted gooseberry plant, and that one was I think it was a 2 or 3 year old gooseberry plant potted, and we've actually had a nice harvest of gooseberries off that one. Made some gooseberry food, which were really nice. Potatoes in containers, mostly second earlies, mix of Charlotte and Nicola. I've cut all the stems back because most of them died off, and they are quite big. We've harvested a few, a couple of containers so far, but they look alright. I think there might be one main crop, maybe Cara here, can't remember, but they've grown alright. I was surprised how fast they grew and died back, to be honest, but there is potatoes underneath. So down here a little, I think this is I can't remember if it's a courgette or a squash. I think it's a squash. I think it might be a honey bear squash. Okay, let's have a look under the arches. Couple of courgette plants one on each side. They are starting to produce little courgettes, but I'm worried about them not getting pollinated. So I might have to try and do some hand pollination in a minute. There's a few lettuce under here. This one's gone to seed. I'm going to try and collect the seeds off of that, and more lettuce. The two lavender plants I've put at the front, I don't think they're growing very well. Really short and stubby. Maybe it's just not sandy enough or too much nutrients in this bed. I don't really know, but we'll see how they get on next year, but might end up moving them. There was meant to be loads of stuff growing up the arches here. I've planted some beans, some little mini pumpkins, cucumbers, but that's a bit of a fail, I think. Maybe this will grow. You've got little pumpkins there, but I was hoping, but by now they'd be halfway up the arches. Still, there's a landcress there. That's nice. Alternative to watercress. And watercress is quite hard to grow, but this is really easy to grow. It's not as nice as watercress, but it does taste like watercress in a salad. It's nice. So I'm going to grow that again. It's not as juicy. The stems are quite hard, but if you just pull off this sort of little leaves, it's nice in a salad. So that's the archway. Okay, this is bed number 1. They did have a load of broad beans there at the front, which we've harvested. They didn't do as well as the other lot, the first lot. So I think they just got battered by black fly, and I think next year I might just do one autumn sowing around November, same as last year, and rather not bother with the second sowing because it's too many really for us. Tried doing some peas again. this time because all the peas have not done well, and I think it's pigeons eating it, so I've put some netting around. We did have a plastic covering over the top, but I've taken that off now, but they're looking a lot better now, although they are looking a bit green, down a bit yellow down the bottom, but hopefully we'll get at least a few handfuls. I've got some more in the cell tray at home to plant out. I'm not sure where to plant them yet. Yeah, so after the broad beans were removed, I've planted a load of beetroots that I had waiting, and there's a couple of I think one's a courgette, maybe Black Beauty is the variety, and then this is I think this is another honey bear squash. Again, it's starting, you can see it's starting to produce little fruit there, even though the plant's really small. Worried about pollination again. And these are cocktail crush tomatoes, which is a blight resistant tomato. They're doing okay, got fruits there, so just got to wait for them to ripen up. And I think this tomato here is another blight resistant one. I think it's called Crimson Crush. I started this a lot later, so it's a bit behind, but I thought because it's blight resistant, it should survive into sort of late summer, and hopefully get a few fruit off it. Okay, this is bed number 2, and the Calabrese on this side are doing really well. It's about a fist size for a Calabrese there. Some of them are smaller. I think there's 5 in here. That one there's gone really yellow, so I don't know what's happened there. Maybe it'll get a bit green as it grows a bit bigger, I'm not sure. There's a few hidden leeks there. They're going to struggle for light, I guess, with all the broccoli, but once I move the broccoli at the Calabrese, they should recover. On this side there's cauliflower, and these cauliflower I bought from the garden centre because mine all died, but they were always behind the Calabrese in terms of growth, but they're looking a lot better now. And then down there is that's the first time I've grown a successful kohlrabi. I tried last year and I didn't get anything, but guessing it's looking ready. Maybe you can pick it soon. I don't know how big this variety grows. Down the end here, got a few celeriac and a spare beetroot there. Celeriac here were always really yellow, but they seem to have picked up quite nicely, probably because of all the rain, I guess. So that's bed number 1, and just by the side, bed number 2, and just by the side I've got some tomato and a spare. Oh, that's a patty pan there. But again, has that been properly? Has that been pollinated? I guess it has. I might be able to pick that one. I don't know how big they grow. I've never grown patty pan before. This is a rise and trab tomato that's not looking very good. Doesn't seem to be growing well at all. Rise and trab are interesting because they're indeterminate, but they produce fruit like a determinate plant, just huge bushes of it. The one we've got at home is covered in, got these huge, about a couple of hundred flowers in one area. But this plant's not doing very well. And this is bed number 3, and this is where we did have garlic, which we've harvested, and the first sowings of broad beans, which did got a really good harvest off. The garlic at first got drying at home. I thought it hadn't split properly, but it looks like it has, and once it's dried out you can see the cloves, but they weren't massive. So I'm not sure whether I'll have enough to be able to save to sow next year. I might have to buy some more in, which is a bit annoying because it's really expensive. But anyway, in here now there's Brussels sprouts, I think 2 red cabbages there at the back there, and then 4 Brussels sprouts. That Brussels sprout's been slugged, and this here in the middle here is another spare cauliflower that I just whacked in here. Down the front here is a load of celeriac. More celeriac than I think I'll want to eat, but that's all the plants I had, so put them all in there. And in bed 4, a few spare onions at the back. They don't seem to have been affected the same as the other bed by downy mildew. In the middle here there's leeks. They've grown quite well. And at the front here outside the netting we've got 2 tomato plants which I can't remember. I think one's a Cherokee purple and one's an Aunt Ruby's German green. But it seemed to be doing that well with a lot of leaf curl, and there's tomato growing there, look. Hopefully they'll appreciate this warmer weather now. A few other things going on here, more leeks. These are the spare leeks that I just put, and with the intention of growing just baby leeks. And then spring onions around the front. A basil plant that's not doing very well. And this is a Navarra oak leaf lettuce, which is really nice, that I'm letting to go to seeds, because you don't get many seeds in the packet, so I thought I'll let this one to go to seeds and collect the seeds. That's a really nice lettuce. I'll grow more of those. And this is a little herb planter. Got this from Aldi. It's really good, and I wish I'd bought more of them now. I have a couple around the plot, 2 or 3, with herbs or other things in. And there's chives, spare celeriac there, and parsley, which is starting to go a bit yellow. Maybe it's the weather or the rain, or maybe it's just a bit crowded in there, I'm not sure. But it's alright, still looks okay. Okay, and over in the shed bed finally is a bit chaotic, but at the back we had a couple of containers of carrots which we've harvested. They weren't massive, but I guess it might be to do with the variety. I think they were early nonce, and there's a purple dragon and 2 Sean. And then next to it still here is the parsnips, which seem to be growing really, really well. Sunflowers, a few sunflowers in this bed. This one got battered by slugs straight away early on, but it seems to have grown new shoots, and now there's about 4, 5, 6 heads there. I probably need to support that a bit more. Down the bottom here I planted 2 crown prince squash close together here because I was trying to limit the size, because I think they grow too big. But again, might have problems with pollination there. This one over here is another crown prince, but it's from Save Seed. Last year I grew one which was an F2, and it seemed to grow okay. And this is an F3 now, so I don't really know what to expect. Hopefully we'll get something worth eating. Down here a courgette that's just been battered by slugs, and here is a cucumber that I've just plonked here for now. Hopefully going to grow up. I can't remember the name of the variety, but I'm struggling with cucumbers this year. As I say, in the archway bed I think I planted like maybe 3 or 4 cucumber plants, and only one of them sort of seemed to survive, but and I've got no fruits at all so far. So hopefully this one will grow a bit now there's some warm weather, and we'll get a couple of cucumbers off that. Yeah, so that's the shed bed. I think that's everything. So again, like last month, some good successes and some things not doing very well. Right, that's it, carry on.